What's up, internet? My name is Ori. We are back once again here live on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Actually, make sure I should tweet out here. How's everybody doing after an amazing premiere for Big Brother 27? There was so much to love. We got a lot to talk about. From an HOH to a mystery house guest to a returning house guest who we thought was a mystery house guest, but is actually just a house guest. There's a lot to go over. But what's up, everybody, on this lovely Friday morning? I see you all. Is that Foxy? What's up, Foxy? How you doing, buddy? We got Tiffany, Abraham. Who else do we got? Jill the Pill, Norma, how are you? PT, Tommy, Johnny, Stanley, Amy, TC, my guy 2019, Chris T, SWT Double J, up in here, Elizabeth, Portley, Sharon, Video Man. We are so back. Croc Bottom. I really like the twist and the return to the arena this season. Oh my god, the reactions when it was Rachel. I just really love her. Yeah, we got a lot to go over. AI Arena returning as a permanent thing. I don't even know exactly what they mean when they say permanent. We need to talk about that as well. But there's a lot. Going on. Nancy, how are you? Who else do we got up in here? We got Johnny, Detroit Red, Stacked In, how are you? Caitlin, Alicia, Lady Autumn, how are you? Listen, we got a lot to talk about, so let's kind of start off, I guess, with the main thing, right? We had all of our house guests move in last night. We had 8 move in first, 8 move in after. They kept teasing that little box with the countdown timer. What was it going to mean when the timer hit 0? We had kind of seen a preview of that earlier in the day where the lights were going to go out and then Julie was going to go missing. And that's what ended up happening. Lights go out, Julie's missing, there's a heel on the stage. We're like, what's going on? I kind of, going into everything, thought the mystery house guest was going to end up being the one that kind of disappeared, but it ended up being, no, Julie. And that led us into 2 competitions, because not only did Julie disappear, there was this like HOH thing that disappeared. I don't even know what they were calling it exactly. It was like an HOH idol thing, mabob. It was like a big brick. We're going to look at it here in a second. But that led us into 2 comps where they split everybody up. 8 people had to go find Julie. 8 people had to go find the HOH thingy mabob. But this was all kind of like set about with our guy here, the mastermind. We could take a look at the mastermind here with his crazy red mask. They're kind of teasing that this mastermind is someone. Like, it's someone that we're going to know when they're revealed. Potentially, it's Brendan. That would make sense, considering everything that's gone on. Maybe it's also somebody else from kind of the Rachel circle that is helping her along here. But I assume this is going to be somebody that we are fairly familiar with when it's revealed. I don't think they're going to be a player of any sort, but they're there to kind of, cause chaos and introduce the twists as part of everything that's going on. So that led us into these 2 comps that they had, right? So the first comp was this thing here. I can get it set up here. It was this thing where they had these bridges. They had to kind of put together a puzzle to be able to cross the bridge. Once they got to the bridge, they had these doors with the vents next to them. You could see those little square vents next to each of the door. That would tell them some kind of clue to what Julie was wearing. But it might be true. It might be false. So you couldn't 100% trust that information. And your goal was to find the one that was true and unlock that door. it was actually kind of an interesting competition. I thought it was kind of fun because it was a little bit of a mix of something we've seen before with the bridge puzzle, right, where you have to build a bridge across, along with these doors where you had to kind of figure out where the correct answer was. I would like to see this competition done where more people are trying, because a lot of people weren't even really trying. Riley, the cowboy, he wasn't even going for this at all. Mickey had said she wasn't going for this. Zach and Adrian both were trying to win this, though. Adrian made it across first. He started going to each of the doors, listening, try and figure out which was the right one. Zach actually did something that was kind of smart. It was a bit of a risk, right? But what's the worst that's going to happen? You're eliminated from the competition. He realized that Adrian had gone and listened to all of the doors except for like this one, or it was the number 2 door. And he was like, well, if Adrian's already listened to all those, it would probably mean that he hasn't found the right door yet. So I'm just going to go and try and unlock that one. And he does, and it's the right one. Julie is behind that door, and Zach ends up winning this competition. Along with that, wins $10,000. The second competition was this guy here. You can see this was that HOH thing that I was telling you about on that got taken and taken away. Basically, you can see all these ones that are here are all slightly different. There's different colors all around in the jewels. They had to go and find the right one. It also had here, you can see clues around this little comp area that would give you the correct one, and they had to kind of find that. This competition was kind of a comedy of errors. Almost all of the people ended up getting eliminated because if you picked the wrong one, you would be out of the competition. And it ended up being Jimmy and Ashley who were the last 2 surviving for this. And then Jimmy was able to end up getting the win on this one. However, this was a little bit different. You didn't win 10K for this one. Jimmy, in my mind, kind of got a little bit of a disadvantage. This would not be something I would want. They called it kind of an advantage, or maybe even they just called it a power. I don't remember 100%. But this would not be something I would want. I would not want to have to choose the 4 people who have to play in the first HOH competition. I would just want to be completely out of, like, I wouldn't mind playing, right? Like, you could, if you want to pick me to play, I'll play, right? Like, I don't mind. But I don't want to have to pick them. Jimmy had to end up picking 4 players. He picks himself, and we can actually see here himself, Ashley, Vince, and Adrian. It was kind of the classic competition where you got to balance these poles with the little ornaments over there, and make sure they all stay up there after you press your lever. Vince ends up winning HOH by like milliseconds too. He pressed his lever and it had to stay up for 10 seconds, and then it came down almost right after he pressed his lever, so it was close. And then that all takes us back inside after we find out that Vince is the HOH and that Julie is safe, and Zach gets 10K. We're also told that we're getting the return of the AI arena. So not just 2 nominees on the block each week, but 3 nominees will be up on the block each week. This year, what did they say they were calling it? Was the blockbuster or something along those lines? And they said that would be actually a permanent addition to the game. Here's my thing. I think last season, AI Arena was a twist that a lot of people really, really liked. And while I didn't mind it, I thought it was kind of interesting, and I liked the concept they were trying to go for, where it made eviction night feel more like a double eviction night because you didn't know who was going to be on the block at the very end when you're going to vote, so you couldn't really game plan that well. It didn't really work out that way. And to me, I think the big reason why AI Arena was even liked at all was because Tucker was liked, and Tucker kept winning them. And if it wasn't for the fact that he was so loved by the fan base and kept winning them, I don't think that it would have been as liked as it really was. If it didn't go that way, I think people would have been a little bit more sour on it. That said, I don't think it's terrible for a little bit. And I think last season it even overstayed its welcome. I think it stayed actually maybe a week or two too long. And I'm more of a fan of more of a vanilla Big Brother, right? Like, we can have some twists and stuff, but for the most part, I want it to be HOH, veto, and then the vote. Like, right, I don't want any extra, you know, cherries on top. I don't think Big Brother needs that necessarily, except for a little twist here and there. That's fun, but I don't think there should be consistent changes to the gameplay that much, because I think it just messes with the fun and the flow of the game. But we'll see how this all plays out, right? Maybe it'll end up being fun, but I'm not 100% sold that it should be good. You disagree? You like the arena? Again, though, Sharon, think about it. What if somebody else? What if it wasn't Tucker who was winning each week? Would you still love it? What if Kenny was winning AI Arena each and every week? Would we love it? What if the glitter lady? What if the glitter lady was dominating the AI Arena last year, and they couldn't get rid of her? Would we still love it? Right? And that's my point. I think the only reason we like it is because Tucker was winning them. And again, maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe we'll still like it, but I'm not a huge fan on how it all played out. We'll see how it goes though. That then leads us though. It was the big thing. We weren't sure who was the mystery house guest. Who was this going to be? And there were clues that were being given out. A lot of them did kind of lean a little bit towards Rachel. But where I kind of was out of the Rachel train initially was when things like Janelle was on Twitter saying like, oh, Rachel's not texting me back. And it felt like it was like, all right, come on. If that was actually what was happening, she wouldn't be making this big deal of it. There had been times before where Janelle was like, I'm going to Greece and stuff like that. And they try and make a big deal about, you know, all this stuff on social media. So I actually kind of went like, oh, like they're just playing like a little prank because people think it's Rachel. Where I then was kind of back on board that, oh, it actually probably is Rachel now, is when they released the license plate clue right before the episode. It was this license plate. It was from California. And then it had the year of 2011. July was the date for the tags on the license plate. That was the year of the season of Big Brother 13, which Rachel won. And then all of the letters on the license plate, they ended up kind of correlating with the initials of the returning players from BB13. There was an E for Evil Dick. There were 2 J's for Jeff and Jordan. There was a D for Danny. And then also an R and a B for Brendan and Rachel. And that was kind of the biggest clue that really pointed towards like, all right, I think now at this point it actually is Rachel who will be the returning house guest. And that's what it was. Rachel made her way in as the mystery house guest. And she is a full-on player in the game. We also had this hope. I had this weird hope that, hey, maybe the mystery house guest isn't actually going to be a player. Maybe they'll be like murdered on Sunday's episode, and then they'll have been there for a week, and then we'll be like, oh yeah, remember when so-and-so was there? I thought maybe even it could have just been like a celebrity they got just to kind of put in there, right? But no, it is Rachel. She is a full player in the game. And here's my thing. I don't necessarily have any problems with Rachel. I think she's a very entertaining player. She, you know, does that sound bites. We're gonna need an over and under for nobody comes between me and my man and floaters grab a life vest, and how many times she's gonna say all of her, you know, lovely quotes that she is so well known for. Maybe some new ones are going to be coming out too. She also, back in the day, was kind of a little bit of a comp beast, right? Like, listen, there was a hanging weenie, right? It was a good old hot dog competition. You had to hang on that thing. Rachel wasn't coming off it. She was going to hang on there and hug that thing until she died if she had to. right? But that was back in the day. That was 2 kids ago. Is Rachel still going to have that ability to perform in competitions and keep herself around like she used to? And then also, look, let's talk about it, right? Because you kind of have to. You can't not talk about it when you talk about Rachel's win on BB13. There was the whole Pandora's box thing, right? And I feel like it might be the most obvious production interference that we've kind of ever had, where the Pandora's box came back and it brought back the the duo twist where they were playing in pairs again, which really highly favored Jeff and Jordan, or not Jeff and Jordan, Rachel and Jordan at that time. And it was just one of those things where if that Pandora's box didn't happen, would Rachel still have won the season? I don't know. So yeah, it was there's a lot of things with Rachel that you can love, and I guess it really, she does describe the polarizing aspect that they were talking about before the season, that, you know, you either love her or you hate her, right? That's kind of the two ends of Rachel. But she is, like I said, good TV. She's exciting. So it's going to be interesting to see how she plays the game again, and where it goes. The big problem for me, though, is anytime you bring back a returning player, or any type of player that has played these games before, they end up putting like a chokehold on the game. Look at Sari when she played on 25. She really kind of ran the house. She also had the additional assistance of her son in there. And even going back to BB19 with Paul, he was really just kind of able to run the whole season. And one of the big reasons why this kind of is, anytime you have returnees, even you can look at seasons like BB what was it, 18, BB 13 when Rachel came back, even BB 11 when Jesse came back the season after. Anytime you have these returning players, there's going to be these players that instantly just are going to work with them, and they get an instant alliance that's kind of formed around them. At the same time, you do also get people who are instantly going to be against them, but it usually doesn't go as well for them as you would like. Thank you for coming and following over, I believe, on Twitch and Kick, maybe both, not sure, but thank you for coming on in. I appreciate it. So yeah, it's definitely interesting to see how this is all going to play out with Rachel, but we'll see how it goes. The last thing that we really need to talk about before I jump into the chat, and I really want to hear from you guys more, is the secret accomplice. So we were going into this whole thing with, oh, there's going to be a mystery house guest. Who's the 17th house guest? And then we found out, oh, it's Rachel. But apparently, it's actually not. One of the other people on our board here, one of the other players that we thought was a player, is in fact not a player and was helping out that mastermind the whole time. If they are able to convince the majority that they are not the accomplice, they get to stay in the game. But if a majority of the players are able to figure out who the accomplice is, they're gone. They're out. So that is done. I don't know. Who do we think could be the accomplice? It could be any of the other house guests. It's obviously not Rachel. She is in. She is not the accomplice. She is going to be a player this season. But one of the other players on our board potentially won't be in the game. They will be gone if they are figured out. If they are not, though, they will end up getting a spot in the house for the whole season. We will have 17 players this season. So that's kind of interesting. Here's a little bit of my best logical guess and kind of rundown on it. Since Rachel was the extra house guest, just for balance wise, to me it would make sense if the accomplice was a woman. I don't think Amy is the accomplice. That one doesn't really line up too well with me, but it's possible. Ava, I don't think could be it. Ashley is a maybe, but I'm not feeling it too much. Lauren, I don't think it would be it either. Catherine's a potential. I don't think Mickey is it either, but Catherine Kelly, and Morgan would be the 3 girls that I would potentially think maybe could be the accomplice that are here to kind of set something up. I don't know why. This is just kind of a gut feeling. It's just kind of a gut feeling. I've got nothing really to go on with this. I know there's been people who have been saying like, oh, when the lights went out, this happened, or this person did something kind of sus, so maybe it's them. I don't even know if there's really good clues that are out there at all for any of this either. So I haven't seen any of that kind of stuff, but that would be my best guess, would be that since Rachel is coming on in to balance out the numbers, it would probably be a woman. And then Kelly, Morgan, and Catherine are kind of my top guesses on who those would be. On the opposite side, if it did end up being a guy, maybe Keanu, maybe Will, potentially Zay, maybe. I don't think it would be Jimmy. I don't think it would be Adrian. I don't think it would be Vince, who had 1 HOH. Potentially even you could take out anybody who was in the HOH competition, which would be Jimmy, Adrian, Vince, and Ashley. But I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% on any of that kind of stuff either. So it's going to be interesting to see where this all goes. But let's jump in the chat and see what you guys are saying. What are you guys thinking of the cast? What do you think of Rachel coming on in? Who do you think potentially is this accomplice that is in the game right now? And do you think they'll be figured out? Do you think they'll be able to make it through and be in the game for the rest of the time? Do you agree with Meridian's review's assessment that Rachel is the worst player to win Big Brother? Worst player to win Big Brother, if we're going all North America, no. I actually did the rankings. Here's the thing. I don't think she's the worst, because I think technically maybe there's a few others, right? Like, I don't think Evil Dick's win is necessarily that good. I don't think if we're going, like, if we include Canada, Pax Bros, oh god, we could go on a whole long thing about that. What's the guy's name from BB9? The guy who ended up being he ended up with like a pill mill operation. He was doing all kinds of drugs. But I mean, it definitely, the integrity of the win, like I've mentioned with the Pandora's box, is kind of up there. It's kind of up there. Where if that Pandora's box didn't get open, would she have won that season? I honestly don't know. I've played these games before. Depends on the returnee, to be honest. I think Rachel's flawed enough that it wouldn't be a stranglehold. That is true. She does have enough flaws where she would have a stranglehold, but she's going to have so many people that are probably going to be bringing her information and wanting to work with her, where it just gives a natural advantage to those returnees. But like you said, she does have enough flaws where we could have it not be a complete like run of the whole house. Looking forward to who has the best strategy. Don't like returning players. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the returning players either. Other than the Trader's first time seeing Rachel live on TV, he was only talking US. This is their attempt to be like the Traders, and that's actually the thing too. One of the things was we were trying to speculate who could be this mystery house guest, and I was saying it felt like it was likely to be different times. I felt like different things, but there was always the likely chance that it would be someone from just the reality show circle in general. And while Traders is kind of more of a celebrity kind of returning player type of a deal, where it's people from other reality shows, with the theme, it was like, all right, maybe they could get somebody from the Traders, and Rachel, having played the Traders, did fit into that mold as well. So yeah, kind of interesting that it ends up being Rachel. Rachel is indeed the one who joined the house. I like the traders though, so I'm good with it. Pax Bros are definitely worse. Evil Dick had the most luck dependent win. Well, honestly, it's not even necessarily a luck dependent win. I guess lucky that it happened to have the America's player in there at all. But yeah, that just in general controlled the whole game, was having a player that was basically playing for Evil Dick through the fans. That was the whole thing, where it was just like, oh yeah, we were gonna do whatever's gonna keep Evil Dick safe because that's the most entertaining thing. Where could I watch BB27 outside the US and for free? Good questions. Maybe, you know, follow people on Kick and Twitch, and you know, maybe you can be able to see stuff. You know, maybe you'll be able to see stuff. Let's see, over on the YouTube side, Rachel and Jimmy are going to. So yes, Daniel. Jimmy was one of the only people we saw in the episode kind of call out that, like, hey, everybody's, you know, sucking up to Rachel over here. Everyone's sucking up to Rachel over here. What are we doing? He was like, we gotta nip this in the bud. So Jimmy is definitely going to be button heads with Rachel's, I think. Otter's here. What's up, Otter? We totally missing Rachel and Jimmy's already. I know, that's the other big thing. Here's my problem. I don't know if they are doing the whole like vote thing already. Like, has somebody been actually sent out of the house as the accomplice thing, right? Did they do that already? And we're going to start Sunday's episode with that and somebody leaves? Or is that not really actually happening until they do the whole nomination thing and everything? And then Sunday, we're going to see all that. Because if that's the case, there's really no reason why we shouldn't have had feeds after last night's episode. And it is really a disappointment that we have to wait all the way till Sunday for live feeds. Because, man, I'm telling you, if we could have had this, like, even a day after, right? Let's say they all move in on Tuesday, and then we see, the episode on Wednesday. That would be really fun too, just to be able to see all the reactions of everything happening. Because especially with the speculation on who could be the accomplice, with Rachel coming on in, there would have been so much fun stuff on the feeds that we're missing out on. And it really is a shame. I really hope next year they're able to figure out something where, you know, because here's the big problem. Live premieres, while it gives us the feeds and they're a lot of fun, the premiere themselves, I think, can be a little bit lackluster. They feel kind of rushed almost sometimes, and it just doesn't kind of give like a really good episode feel. This episode was actually kind of fun. It moved, it felt fast paced, it felt like a lot happened in this episode. So it made for a better episode, but we'd lose out on the live feeds right away. And like, I wish there was a better balance there. I wish we could have a better balance there of having the feeds night one, because there's so much fun stuff that happens in those first few days. Look back to, last season with Angela's whole crazy eye Matt rant, right? We wouldn't have seen that without having those early access to the feeds. So it is a shame that we don't have that. Rachel actually does some casting on certain. She does. I've seen that before. Like on the Food Network. Jimmy grew on me a bit. Smart. Adrian played it down. Good move. I think Vince is the one who grew on me the most, which makes sense too, because he ends up being HOH. That they would end up showing you a lot of it. But as I was watching the episode, I was like, I'm actually starting to like Vince a little bit here. And then he won HOH. I was like, oh, that's why they were trying to make me like the first HOH. As far as a theory that is Woman for Balance, when I watched all the interviews they released in the media, Morgan and Catherine seemed a bit off. Yeah, Morgan definitely felt very scripted with hers. And it didn't feel very genuine. Catherine, I didn't notice too much on it, but Kelly also had a weird bio as well with hers. I don't know. She was like, I just want to be everybody's friend. I just want to be everybody's friend. And she was like happy, but also it felt like she was on the verge of tears. I don't know. So it could be any of them. Could be any of them. Could be none of them. It's like a Scaramucci. Making us wait till Sunday is bull. I know, it stinks. It could be awkward live too. Exactly, Foxy, right? Like it just doesn't flow as well. Do we know if we get to have playback this year? It's a good question, Tiffany. I had heard that we were going to have like 24 hours. The last I had checked when I had looked at the website, because they had just made the website live, it didn't look like there was much like features. I didn't even see a chat room on the Paramount Plus link. So I can't say for sure whether or not we'll have any of the flashback for the live feeds or not. That is uncertain at this time. Scaramucci was gone by the time the feeds came on. If they did this last season, exactly stacked, we wouldn't have seen the Matt Crazy Eyes thing. Can't wait till Sunday. Production needs a couple of days to convince Vince not to put Rachel on the block. That's why no feeds. I would imagine Rachel's going to be safe this week. I would imagine she'll be safe this week no matter what. But yeah, you definitely would want to make sure she wouldn't go night one. I'd say no. Do you think that they don't guess who it is? That they reveal who it is after the vote? That's a good question, Mickey. I don't think they should. I don't think it would be fair to that person, because if the house wasn't able to figure it out, then that's on them. If you then reveal it, you now reveal that person's a good liar, right? Have it be on the player to reveal it, right? Production shouldn't reveal that. If they're able to survive the vote, I think they should keep that secret, which is what I think they should keep everything secret, right? We went on a little bit of an Ori rant last night about, keep things secret, because the way they had everything set up, they were like, oh, Jimmy and Zach might end up with powers, but the way the competitions were, I was like, they're going to be known powers, and I don't like that. When you have a power and it's known, it takes all the fun away from it, right? The most fun, exciting twists and powers are the ones that are completely secret, that everybody doesn't know that are coming, because otherwise they just gamify it and they figure out like the best optimal way to use the twist and power, and it just doesn't have the excitement that you're really looking for. Hey man Wolf, what's poppin'? Happy to be back in the swing of things. Absolutely. Also getting to level 6. Let's go. I don't think they reveal. If they reveal, then they become a target. Exactly. I think they only find out if they get it right. If it's known, it doesn't mean much. Exactly. 100%. I don't think they should reveal, because I that would be bad. But also, the known powers don't mean as much. 100%, Tiffany. Let's see where we were at with YouTube. Pluto live feeds. Yeah, the Pluto live feeds will also be up and running along with the Paramount ones. So no matter what, we'll have some good feeds, and those ones are free. Paramount ones you have to pay for, but no ads. Hopefully they have the flashback on it. That would really make it worthwhile. They've been in that house 8 days. No, not 8 days. They've only been in since Tuesday. They've only been in there since Tuesday. So they've been in there with like 3 days. Well, I guess technically today's the 4th day, right? They would be in there. Yeah, Tuesday was the move-in. So they haven't been in there that long, but still, 4 days is a lot. So much happens in 4 days. Since we first started getting the live move-ins, and we were getting the live feeds on night 1, those were such a treat, and we got a little bit spoiled where they were so good and we got so much good information. Now we're missing out on a lot. We're missing out on a lot of those first connections and bonds that are people making. The first, even just like enemies that people are making from the little things they do around the house that might annoy people. So we're missing all of that, and it's really kind of a shame. I would hate for Rachel to win this season. I want a newbie to win. I wonder if Rachel saw any of the files for the show she was casting and knows the secrets. Well, I don't know if she was casting on BB, and I would assume that if they were going to have her on the season, they wouldn't have had her be doing the casting. Though, just in general, she might have seen some of these people's stuff through casting of other things. If they were trying for other shows, that is always a possibility. Heck, even I just know off the top of my head, 2 of the players know Hannah Chata. So it's one of those things where sometimes you're just kind of in those circles and you end up knowing people that are on the shows. But I don't think anybody necessarily like knows Rachel directly, or if that would even give her that much of an advantage. Maybe she's able to use it in like a, hey, like, you know, for example, Mickey rides horses. Nobody would know that, but maybe Rachel knows that because she saw it in like a bio video once for another thing that Mickey applied for, right? And Rachel's been like, oh, I love horses. And then Mickey's like, I love horses too, right? Like, that's just an example. I'm not saying that would happen, but just an example of what could be potential advantage from knowing information like that. But also that said, I don't know if she would know like any information like that, or even remember information about any of these people that she saw. If the accomplice gets away scot-free and becomes an official player, what are the odds they're not getting targeted first week? So exactly, Coach Carter. So that's why I don't think they should reveal it, right? If you get away with it scot-free, that's just setting you up to be like, oh, this guy's a good liar. This girl's a good liar. We need to get rid of them. They can't stick around. And that's why I think they should keep that a secret if they're able to get away with it. I think Vince nominating himself would be really nice. I think Catherine's the accomplice. She made a guilty face last night for sure. Way to go putting the target on Zach winning the... Oh, that's true, right? Another thing is Zach getting the 10K does put a bit of a target on his back right away. In the past, too many revealed their advantages. If they can keep it secret, I hope they don't tell anyone in their alliance. 100%. It's nice to wake up and hear your voice again. Dina! How are you, Dina? If you guys don't know Dina, definitely make sure you go check out Dina. She makes a lot of great videos as well about Big Brother. So go give Dina some love. We are back. We are back. BB is back. I'm excited. I think the cast is a lot of fun. I don't know 100% who this accomplice is going to be. If there's even been like clues to it. Like that's kind of the thing too, is like, I want some clues. Like I want some stuff like that we can kind of be like, all right, what does this mean? Give us some like stuff to kind of play with a little bit here, because otherwise it's like, I don't know. It's just one of these people are randomly going to leave, and that's going to kind of stink. Anyone else get Chelsea vibes from Ashley? A little bit. I can see where you see that. It's nice being alone here over here, not being alone over here on Twitch for once. Tuesday was move-in. Yeah. She doesn't work for BB, if I'm correct. She is working on shows that we don't know. She's brought it up on Rap a couple of times. I think the way they worked it was that they only know if they figure it out. Keanu's my pick for the accomplice if the person was actually doing things, these tasks, and not just to roll after the fact, because he was the only one separated from the group multiple times when they were called. Yeah, so I had seen some stuff about that too, where Keanu was like in the kitchen at some points for some reason. Also, I just noticed that there was a bunch of people over on the Kick chat, but I had not been able to see you guys. I don't know why this chat isn't working for me for Kick anymore. I don't know why that's not doing it. I got to figure that out. But Laura and Bondo, I see a morning bud headed into work. Had to pop in. It was a great episode. Agree. Keep it secret. If the accomplice stays in the game, they will use her as the saboteur all season. That's a good question, Laura. I don't know. I think once they're in the game, I think they're scot-free and they don't have to do anything anymore. But I don't know. I'm kind of thinking Morgan for the accomplice. No worries. I'm sorry, Laura. I'm sorry, Mondo. I'm sorry. I was ignoring you. I didn't mean to. I was wondering why the kick one was so dead. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a fun start to the season. It's going to be interesting to see where this all goes and how things develop from here, though. Man, I don't know. We don't have enough info, I don't think, right? There's gotta be something to give us kind of an edge on who the accomplice is, but I just haven't seen anything that would really do that. One of my winners picks Jimmy's in hot water. He could be if he starts to go against Rachel, but the rest of the house doesn't want to go against Rachel. That could be a big problem. Please like and support for Ori. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, if you guys are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We do daily live feed updates all season long, first thing in the morning. And then on Fridays, like today, we go live where we do the same kind of update kind of in the beginning. As you guys saw, I kind of ran through things and then we jump into the chat like this. It ends up being a good time. I was thinking for the accomplice, I'm stumped, right? I am stumped too, T-Gold. Let's see. I like Vince, Mickey, and Ava. Zay is suspicious, but so is Morgan and Ashley is the accomplice. Jimmy and Rachel will be the first to fight this season. Are you all on the BCC chat? I'm glad we have options other than Twitter. I don't know what that is. And yeah, I don't know. If you're talking about the Blue Sky, I never signed up for Blue Sky because it's like, man, come on. Like, I just, do we need more social media things? And from what I hear, it's already kind of like dead over there. Like, that was my big thing. I went over to check it out and then it was like dead. There was like nobody there. And I was like, all right, I'm just not gonna bother, I guess. And I barely use Twitter as it is. I don't want to see Rachel's annoying antics all season. Jimmy is Reagan 2.0. If someone was smart, they're going to work with Rachel. She's playing it twice. She's played it twice, knows the game, right? She's a winner, right? She's a winner. It's not just like, oh, she's any player. She's won this game before. I'm not sure about Morgan. I don't know what it is, but she's a little sus to me. Maybe the accomplice, or maybe she's hiding her. How do we do the draft? So the draft is locked. The draft is already locked in. But if you had gotten your picks in, I have all of the lists set up. I got to do some like back end work, setting up all of the scoring and everything, setting up the leaderboards and stuff. But we'll have that all going as soon as we can, and then we'll be able to keep track all season long, and it should be a lot of fun. Adrian got extremely lucky that he picked the bottom set of doors and didn't get the 10K. She's older now, but I really need to see the Jimmy versus Rachel chaos. What is Jimmy going after Rachel? Don't he know the real deal? Well, the thing was, he saw that everybody was flocking to Rachel and was like, oh my God, Rachel, like, you're the best. And they were going over there doing her thing. And he's like, whoa, wait a minute. What do you mean? We got to get rid of her. She's dangerous. So I think that's the thing. He knows the real deal of how good she could potentially be in this game, and he doesn't want it. Sorry, I'm just sticking to Twitter. Right, Amy? Like, that's my thing. It's like, look, is the platform great? No. Is the guy who owns it great? No. But it is what it is. What is this? Otter! Otter coming in with the $25 Ori fund. Big brother, by the way, I'm 65-year-old female. You have friends of all ages, Ori. I appreciate you. Otter, Thank you so much for filling up the Ori fund. If you guys don't know, you can do exclamation Ori fund. There's also a link in the description to hit up the Ori fund. And Otter just came on in with $25, hooking that up. Otter, thank you so much. Never required, but always appreciated. Otter, thank you for coming on in. That's huge. Where were we? Jimmy was doing great after Rachel didn't know the deal. BCC chat is run by a bunch of the former house guests and main posters. Oh, haven't heard about it. I really wish we got the live feed sooner. Rachel's guaranteed at least jury. Did anyone else notice Lauren's DR session right after Rachel came into the game? She said something about Rachel making me think she knew she was coming into the game. I could be wrong. Unless I had a glitch on my TV, I'm suspect of Zay. Before Julie even called his name to enter the house, he stepped down. It was strange and something that stood out to me. Ooh. BCC is a great chat. Yeah, Otter's awesome. Otter is awesome. Ethan gave me an invite during the live stream. Just heard about it. Yeah, I haven't heard about this. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. Ori, how long do you think the blockbuster will last this season? Well, that's another good question because they said permanent, and I don't know exactly what that means. Permanent. Permanent, how long permanent? Permanent as in, all season long? Because you couldn't do it more than like once you would get to like top 6, there would start to be problems. Anonymous. Anonymous with the $7 or $6.98. It's $6.98 into the Ori fund for being on point, they say. Well, thank you so much for hitting up the Ori fund. Never required, but always appreciated when you hit up the Ori fund. Rachel is older, but don't think she will be the compies. 100% Laura, right? She's older, two kids away, right? She's 2 kids removed from the last time she played and was able to do well in this show. So will she be the same? I don't know. Who do you think will be Rachel's Izzy? That's a good question. I could see maybe somebody like Ava. I could even see maybe somebody like Amy. Who else? Maybe Catherine. Maybe even Ashley. Oh, also, we got to remember there was a little bit of hinting at some showman stuff going on. Mickey and Riley, of all people. Mickey was wearing Riley's cowboy hat almost the whole night. Almost the whole night she was wearing that thing. So there could be some sparks happening there. Spice Girl, what's up? How you doing over on the Twitch side? Permanent, I think, means moving forward each season, not all season. Right, that's another thing too, right? It could just mean each season it will be a permanent thing. Which also, again, I'm not a huge fan of either, because I think it was only loved as much as it was last season because of who was winning it. And I think if you replaced that winner with anyone else almost on that cast, it would not be as much love for it as it was. Didn't catch who it was, but somebody came on in. Somebody came on in hitting that subscribe button. And here's the thing. When you hit the subscribe button, you don't know this. I think it was Connie. Who just came on in. When you hit that subscribe button, Connie, you might not know this, but me and you, we now have a secret alliance. Shh. Don't tell anybody, though. It's just me and you talking right here, Connie. Nobody else is here. There's not a chat listening to us and listening to our conversation. Me and you, Connie, we have a final 2. We're going to the end. Thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button. That was a crazy connection. What did I do? What did I do? Laura, I'm lost. What was the connection? Mickey save a horse. Oh, the Mickey Riley connection. Mickey save a horse riding cowboy. That was a crazy connection. That would not been one that I would have immediately looked at. I think she also, who was it? Was it her who mentioned Keanu? It might have been Ashley who mentioned Keanu. It might have been Ashley. And then I think Zay might have also been. Oh, Zay and Keanu, I think we're saying they were going to be buds. So that's another connection to look out for as well. Zay and Keanu could be a tight duo. So we could have that going as well. I also think I kind of like Vince, because Vince was like, hey, you know what? I could just say I'm going to throw it, and then I'm going to win. I'm going to do what's best for me. Also, we had another anonymous coming on in with a $15 donation into the Ori Fund. Don't give away our secret alliance this year by making so many more with other people. Remember, we are the only final two. Yes, we're the only final two. It's just me and you. It's just me and you, nobody else. Anonymous, thank you so much for hitting up the Ori Fund. Again, never required, but always appreciated. You can do !Ori Fund or check out the description down below if you wanted to hit that up. Also, honestly, guys, the easiest way, if you want to support this channel, hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Hit that like button if you're having a good time during this stream. Check out all of my other socials. Like I said, we are here on YouTube, but we're also on Kick and Twitch. We have our Discord as well. You can become a member of the stream if you like. There's tons of ways to support the channel. You can check out all those links in the description down below. But honestly, thank you guys all so much for all the love and support you show me. I can't thank you guys enough. We've heard that before, Ori. Ori, you're funny. I appreciate it. Ori's giving accomplice vibes in these secret alliances. Whoa, T-Gold. Whoa. It's going 8 weeks for the blockbuster. And that feels a little long to me. Like, if I had my say, it'd be like the first, 3 weeks. The first, 3 weeks would be enough. And I think after that, you can kind of move on. But I think it definitely, for me, overstayed its welcome just a little bit. Who's that? We got Spooky coming on in, hitting that subscribe button. Listen, Spooky, you might not know this. You might not know this, Spooky. But when you hit that subscribe button, we now have a secret alliance. And then we also have Bill. Bill came in and hit that button. Listen, Spooky, what do you think about Bill? What do you think about Bill over here? Because I think, Bill, what do you think about Spooky? I think we could have a little 3-person alliance. We have a trio here of me, Spooky, and Bill. We could run this whole game. We can go to the end. Don't tell anybody, though. This is a secret. It's just me and you listening. We could go to the end. Looking forward to the season. I am too. I think this is going to be a fun season overall. The cast seems like a lot of them are in it to win it. Bill is a traitor. No, Spooky. No. That's our trio. That's our trio. We're a tight trio now. Spooky, Bill. Don't tell anybody, though. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell which. It's our secret. It's our secret. Heel Chrome. What up, Ori? Go Birds. Go Birds. Go Birds. We got to get Bill out. Spooky, no, you're blowing up our trio already. It could be like Chilltown where 2 people run the entire house. Exactly. Or he's lied to us. Whoa. No. Listen. Hold on, guys. There's no lying going on. There's no reason to go crazy here. Good cast, drama will be coming. Rachel joining it is giving Suri vibes. No big wins, but lots of people working with her. Samantha, that's my issue too, is that usually is what happens with returning players. Hopefully, though, like a couple of people also have pointed out, Rachel has some flaws, right? Rachel's not a perfect player. And she's going to definitely rub some people the wrong way. So there's going to be people that are going to be against her, I think, more than necessarily Suri was. because Ree's just got this X factor where everybody trusts her no matter what. Rachel, on the other hand, does have a little bit more flaw to her game where people aren't going to always just trust in her. But because she's a returning player, she's naturally going to have a few more people that are going to be interested in trying to keep her safe than not. And people are going to see her as this huge target that's always a shield in front of them if they can keep her around, at least for a little bit. So we're going to see how this is all going to play out. We'll have to see. 5 seconds and the trio is done. Dudley, I know. Please, BB27 cast, don't turn in the BB19 cast. Yeah, Rachel will run the game, aka Paul. Too many alliances now and side alliances. I miss OG Big Brother. Hey, ladies, we will have an all-girls alliance against Ori. Wow, Dita. Whoa, listen, you don't need an all-girls. Don't do all-girls because anythings don't work. They don't work. There's only been one all-anythings that worked, and it was a special circumstances. That doesn't work. You gotta go with people you trust, which is why we do the final twos. And just remember, me and you, we're going to the final two. Nobody else. We're the real final two. I'm looking at you. You know who I'm talking about right now. I'm looking into the camera, and the real one knows we're the real final two. I'm in. The All Girls Alliance will work in here. No. So we also had, that's true too. So we had Jared. I wonder if the accomplice will try and reveal to Rachel their identity. Hope not. What were they talking about? She's there, but not in the game. The 17th house is coming Sunday, or did I hear that wrong? So, Karen, Rachel is a full player. We weren't 100% sure what the mystery house guest thing was going to be. We thought it was like the returning player was the 17th house guest. Here's the big twist. One of the other players was an accomplice. Think the saboteur, which actually also happened on Rachel's first season. Who's that coming on in? Joanne, guess what? You might not know this, but by hitting that subscribe button, we now have a secret alliance. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody, Joanne. It's me and you. We're going to the final two. But one of the other players is basically the saboteur from like BB11. And here's how it's going to work. If they are able to get away with it, and the majority of the house guests are not able to figure out who the saboteur is, who the accomplice is, they get to stay in the game as a full-on 17th house guest. If they don't get away with it, and the majority of the house guests are able to vote on who and the accomplice is, they're eliminated. So that's how it's going to work. Rachel is fully in the game. She's the only one we can kind of count on at this point. So we'll see. Someone said when the lights went out, two of the house guests moved to different rooms real quick. Yes. So Keanu and I believe also Ava were in the kitchen when the lights were out, which is kind of a weird thing. It's kind of a weird thing, but the other thing was that HOH thing, whatever that was, that had to be hidden as well. And the kitchen is away from that thing. So I don't know. There's a lot to kind of think about. It's a lot to kind of think about there. All the dodos today, let's go, right? It's crazy. I'm watching on YouTube and Twitch. My preference is 5 weeks. 3 feels a bit low to me personally. I could handle maybe 5. But then you're starting to get towards what would be jury. And it would already be in jury, and nobody else would have done just regular BB before jury. The reason why I think 3 is because then you get like 2 weeks of just regular Big Brother before we get to like where the jury phase would be. Gotta head out, but great stream, and I can't wait to be here each morning. It's gonna be a good time. This season. We will be live each and every Friday here with these streams, but every single day we will have a YouTube video of a daily live feed update first thing every morning all season long, so it's going to be a good time. But these Friday streams are always a lot of fun, kind of getting to chat with you guys and really dive into all what's going on. I wonder how they vote for the accomplice in the DR. Probably in the DR or at the table in front of each other. That might be fun. Ooh, like a full-on traders situation. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. I wonder if the accomplice had to perform more to give a chance, give others a chance to guess. That's the thing, Laura, right? Like, we're not even 100% sure, like, what exactly they had to do. And there really isn't that much to go off of, which also makes me think, like, they're going to get away with it. Like, I would imagine it'll be fairly easy to get away with because there's so many possibilities. I just don't see them being able to figure it out. And also, it kind of goes back again to Rachel's first season. And that whole saboteur thing didn't even really get to play out because the girl Annie, who was the saboteur, she got voted out before anything could happen. She got voted out before anything could happen. So it was like, what's the big deal? BB12 Annie could be the accomplice again. Imagine. Oh my God. Imagine if Annie's the mastermind. That would be a throwback. Okay, I get it now. I say the accomplice is Zay. Ooh, interesting pick. I think Ava. Ava would be a fun accomplice. With the old girls, let's vote Pam. No. I remember season 12. Annie was the saboteur, and exactly, Bill. Right? How and when do we think do they vote for the accomplice? I think it's going to be on Sunday's episode. I imagine they're going to just do it like an eviction vote and go into the DR and have to vote for somebody. But also, I don't know if it will be at the beginning of the episode. I would imagine. And that's the only reason why we're not getting live feeds and like they did it already. But I don't know. Do we think this will be a similar vibes to Big Brother 19 with Paul? I hope not. Bye everybody. We'll have it all. See you later. Okay, thank you. What if the accomplice isn't a real person? It might be a red herring, or could it be Ainsley? Ooh, I don't trust Ava or that oversized hat. I hope they at least show us the stuff the accomplices had to do around the house guests. There and they reveal who it is. Me too, T-Gold. Like, give us like, it's like, hey, here were the clues. And he was voted out first. That was crazy. That was so crazy. I don't think the BB wants to lose a player. 100%. I don't think they want to lose a player at all. But also, I would hate for another Eric Stein, who's a good player. Yeah, right, Laura. That's another thing too. You don't want to have that kind of a situation happening either. But yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. We really now are just kind of in a holding pattern until Sunday. We don't have anything new that we're gonna get today, I don't think, or Saturday. Sunday we'll have the new episode. And then Sunday, right after the episode at 9:30 will be when the live feeds will begin. Monday will be the start of our daily live feeds updates, first thing every morning. We aim for as early as possible, like 7:30 for the update video. But it really depends on, one, how much information I have for you, but also two, when these house guests go to sleep, because we don't know. Are these guys late night? Are these people who stay up late at night until 5-6 a.m. East Coast time, or are these guys going to be reasonable and not make Ori have to lose sleep all season long? We will be live here on Sunday as well for the second half of the premiere. We'll watch that all live. And then through the season, we won't do all the seasons doing live reactions, but we'll do the eviction episodes. Eviction episodes will be live for doing the watch alongs. So those will be a good times. Every Friday, we're going to do like this, where you get the live feed update and then we hop into the chat. And these are always kind of fun too. But yeah. This means no Ori until Monday. Well, we'll be here Sunday. And also, potentially, here's a thing. I might try and go live just on Kick and Twitch. Maybe tonight or Saturday. Because there's a brand new season of Marvel Rivals. And I might want to be checking that out. So maybe we'll stream some of that. That could be a good time, too. But I think with that, we are going to end up calling it a day. I want to thank you guys all for hanging out with me, chatting about the premiere. Rachel is in the house. Vince is our HOH. Zach's got 10K. And one of these players might not be in the game for the whole season. Can they get away with being the accomplice of the mastermind? We will find out on Sunday. Live feed start on Sunday. I can't wait. Thank you guys all once again for hanging on out, and I will see you next time. Oh, also, before I go, I just want to say thank you so much for all the big support you guys gave today. You guys were just, I launch these streams sometimes. I don't even know if anybody will show up. And just the fact that you guys show up and chat and watch these videos is amazing. But then just all the extra love and support that you guys really do really does mean the world. And I can't thank you guys enough. So thank you guys all again so much. And I will see you next time.
It took a full round to come even close to bringing me down. I hope you find it hard to believe.